Arcturian, what if the emptiness you feel isn't an absence, but a secret calling? The Source has already moved the heavens and sent a cosmic ally to confirm that your mission has entered a new phase. This feeling that so often accompanies you, the sense that something is missing, that you don't fully belong to this world, is not a mistake of your heart. It's an ancient memory vibrating deep within your being. It's as if every beat is an echo of places that your eyes don't see, but your soul recognizes. You long for stars you can't name, yearn for a home that isn't on any earthly map, and even in the midst of crowds, cosmic loneliness makes its presence known. What you call emptiness is not a flaw. It's a code, an activation code, inscribed in you since before you crossed the portal into this life. It's the secret language of the Source, whispering through the silence, waiting for the exact moment you would be ready to understand. Realize, this discomfort, this silent wait does not mean abandonment. It means your frequency has been prepared for a meeting that will change everything. What seemed like absence was, in fact, the construction of an internal space so that the answer could finally arrive, and that answer is already on its way. The sky has not stood still. The Source has already moved the invisible gears, already realigned the stars, already set in motion what you so much expected. A cosmic ally has been sent, not to replace what you are, but to confirm the greatness you carry. The emptiness that seemed to suffocate will be filled not by something external, but by the awakening of something that has always been within you. The ally doesn't bring news you never knew. They only activate what your soul already knew. Therefore, Arcturian, stay alert. What you have always waited for is approaching. The space created by the emptiness will now be filled by revelation. Get ready. The calling you have always heard in whispers is about to become a voice. Have you ever noticed how, since childhood, there was a silent restlessness in you, as if the world around you was beautiful but still insufficient? It's like living in a comfortable place, but feeling that your true home is in another dimension, on another horizon that your earthly mind cannot decipher. This feeling is common among Arcturians, as their essence did not originate on this earth. It crossed stars, was shaped in subtle realities, and carries with it a memory that human time cannot erase. This feeling of not being entirely of the earth is not a fragility. On the contrary, it is the seal of your origin. Many try to suppress this discomfort, believing it is a sign of inadequacy or personal failure. But you need to understand, what manifests as emptiness is, in truth, stellar memory. It's the cosmic longing that pulses as a constant reminder that your soul did not begin in this life, nor will it end here. The longing you feel is not just nostalgia for past experiences, but a living resonance of the Source within you. It works as an invisible magnetic field that connects you to the origin. When you look at the night sky and feel your heart expand, it's not imagination. It's your frequency recognizing the stellar home from which you departed. Every shining star seems to call you by name, and this calling cannot be explained in common words. Many Arcturians share this same experience, the feeling of walking on earth as silent guardians who observe human dramas, but at the same time know that there is something much bigger happening behind the veil. This collective feeling is the confirmation that you are not alone. There is a cosmic community that vibrates in the same rhythm, spread across the continents, connected not by geography, but by frequency. This calling is not uniform. It manifests in distinct ways. For some, through recurring dreams where they visit temples of light or cities that seem more real than waking life. For others, in moments of deep silence, when an energy of home envelops them and tears fall for no apparent reason. Whatever the form, the message is the same. You are not an accident in the universe. You were sent. Cosmic longing should not be fought, but honored. It's like a compass that is never wrong. It always points to the source. When you learn to listen to this longing without fear, it ceases to be pain and transforms into direction. It's the way the source ensures you don't get completely lost in the noises of earth. And there is something even deeper. This calling is not just to remind you where you came from, but to summon you to remember who you are. The memory of your origin is not intellectual information, but a vibrational code that reorganizes your being. Each time you accept the longing as part of yourself, instead of trying to deny it, the code lights up a little more, realigning you with your greater purpose. You feel longing because you are already being remembered. You hear the calling because you are already being summoned. And this summons is not just for you. It is for the whole earth through you. Have you ever wondered why, at certain times, it seems that your connection with the source disappears? As if your prayers, your purest thoughts, or even your dreams hit an invisible wall and find no response? This experience is common among Arcturians, and it often brings a feeling of abandonment, of even deeper loneliness. But you need to understand, the signal never disappears. It just becomes difficult to perceive. Imagine a cosmic radio transmitting a perfect, crystalline, vibrant frequency without ceasing. This radio doesn't fall silent. It doesn't stop emitting. However, if the receiver is out of alignment, what you hear is noise, static, apparent silence. This is how communication between the source and you works. It never stopped transmitting, but when the earthly mind is overloaded with fears, distractions, and illusions of the material world, the internal receiver loses alignment. The result is the impression that the sky has closed. The interrupted signals manifest in many forms. Confusing dreams which were once clear and prophetic, blocked energies in the body as if a current cannot flow, prayers that seem to fall into emptiness, unanswered. You try, you insist, but everything sounds like silence. This is the moment when many give up, believing they have been forgotten. However, this silence is not absence. It is a test. It is an invitation. It is a proof of vibrational attunement. The source, in its wisdom, allows these periods not to punish you, but to strengthen you. It's as if it is telling you, adjust your receiver, raise your frequency. The signal is here, but it needs to be recognized with more clarity. Recognizing the interference is already part of the activation. When you realize that the noises are not abandonment, but just misalignment, something in you awakens. You understand that the power to reconnect is in your hands, in your silence, in your surrender. It is at this point that you approach the portal of revelation. And here is something essential. The more the noise increases, the closer the perfect attunement is. The static, in fact, announces that you are touching the edges of the correct frequency. Before we continue, if this video is being helpful to you, be sure to subscribe, like it, and comment. This helps this message reach more Arcturians who also need to hear this calling. Now understand, the interrupted signal does not mean the end, but a restart. It is the moment when the source calibrates your soul, preparing it for something bigger. If you feel the emptiness, it is not because you are alone, but because the space inside you is being amplified to receive the next transmission. It is in this state of silence and apparent disconnection that the true awakening begins. For only those who know the noise can value the melody. Only those who have tasted the feeling of absence can recognize the fullness of presence. You are not failing. You are adjusting. And every static you hear, every jumbled dream, every seemingly unanswered prayer is, in fact, a reminder. The source frequency is still here. Retune. Arcturian, each phase of silence and disconnection is followed by a process that many mistakenly interpret as weakness or even spiritual failure. But in truth, What you call instability is the beginning of the calibration of your frequency. The source does not abandon you. It prepares you. Calibration happens when old memories emerge without warning. Recollections of painful situations, of ancient fears, of insecurities you believed were already buried. They surface not to punish you, but so they can be seen and finally dissolved. It's as if each internal noise were a loose thread of energy, which needs to be released for the vibrational field to fully align. This process can be intense. You may feel sudden waves of sadness, tiredness, or irritation for no apparent reason. There may be sleepless nights or dreams filled with incomprehensible symbols. But none of this is a sign that you are lost. It is the opposite. It is the confirmation that the internal receiver is being tuned. Think of the string of a musical instrument. If it is too loose or too tight, the sound will not be pleasant. It is necessary to adjust it, pull, release, until the note aligns with the melody. The same thing happens with you. Every emotion that reappears, every discomfort that arises, is part of the cosmic tuning so that you resonate again with the melody of the source. And in this process, there are unequivocal signs that calibration has already begun. Maybe you have already felt sudden peace in the midst of chaos, as if an invisible wave covered you with an inexplicable serenity. Maybe you have experienced quick insights, ideas that come from nowhere, solutions that appear as if they were just waiting for the right moment to be revealed. Or even that electric sensation in the body, as if subtle currents were passing through you, a sign that your energy is being realigned. All of this does not happen by effort. The mistake of many is to try to control the calibration, force practices, or overload themselves with rituals. But true attunement is not born from effort but from release. It is when you let go, when you allow the source to adjust, that the frequency finds its balance. This process is deeply individual, but also collective. When an Arcturian calibrates their frequency, the entire field around them benefits. It's as if a star reignites in the firmament, illuminating others who are also seeking the lost attunement. Don't confuse cleansing with falling. The pain that emerges is just the echo of what is ceasing to exist in your vibration. The fear that appears is just the last breath of what no longer belongs to your field. The emptiness you feel is not an absence, but an open space for what is arriving. And what is arriving, Arcturian, is the ally. But preparation is essential. The ally cannot enter a vibrational field polluted by undissolved memories. Their presence is not a burden, but a confirmation. Therefore, calibration is necessary. It creates the pure, clean, and resonant space for the meeting to happen without distortions. You may not realize it now, but every tear shed, every burden released, every emotion transformed is paving the way for this meeting. The source does not rush the process because it knows that every adjustment is precious, and when the frequency is aligned, what seemed impossible will become inevitable. Calibration is the invisible bridge between disconnection and the portal. It is the necessary interval between silence and revelation. It is the proof that you are already being prepared to recognize the ally when they arrive. Do not fight the purification. Accept it as part of your music, for the tuned instrument will be the one capable of resonating with the cosmic symphony that is about to begin. Arcturian. After the frequency is calibrated, something begins to move in an almost imperceptible way in the fabric of reality. Coincidences multiply, signs become insistent, and time seems to lose its rigidity. This is the harbinger that you are approaching the celestial threshold, the point where dimensions touch and where the promise of the source begins to be fulfilled. This threshold is not a physical place you can visit with maps or coordinates. It is a vibrational state. It is the moment when your energy approaches the source frequency so much that reality folds. opening passages where the invisible becomes visible. It's as if veils are being removed, revealing that what you judged distant has always been around you, just waiting for your readiness to be perceived. The signs of this portal manifest in diverse forms. For some, they are prophetic dreams, so vivid that the soul awakens with the feeling of having truly crossed another dimension. For others, they are improbable encounters with people who seem to carry veiled messages, phrases said at the exact moment, glances that seem to recognize something beyond the human. There are also those who notice repeated numbers, recurring symbols, or even phenomena in nature that sound like answers from the source. The wind that blows differently, the animal that crosses the path, the star that insists on shining brighter. None of this is chance. They are all codes, luminous points that confirm the portal is opening. At this threshold, the feeling is of being between two worlds. You still walk on earth, but you feel that part of you already breathes another air. It's like being on the threshold of a temple, with one foot still outside and the other already inside, feeling that something sacred is about to happen. This tension is not a mistake. It is an invitation. It is the vibrational boundary that announces that a cosmic ally is about to enter your orbit. This meeting is not new. It was promised. Before you crossed the veil and incarnated in this life, agreements were made. The ally was designated as part of this cosmic contract, and their arrival now is just the fulfillment of something that was already written. Therefore, nothing you have lived through was in vain. Every silence, every longing, every calibration was the path that brought you to this exact point. When the portal opens, reality may seem unstable. You may feel time lapses, as if minutes stretch into hours, or as if days pass in an instant. You may have the impression that events repeat, or that images already seen return in new forms. This happens because, at the threshold, the timeline is no longer linear. It folds to allow the future to touch the present and the past to be reconfigured. But the most important thing is to recognize it is not coincidence. It is not random. It is the source telling you that you are ready. The portal does not open by chance. It opens when an Arcturian's frequency reaches the point of convergence. And when that happens, life is never the same. You realize that you don't walk alone, that invisible forces are already acting in your favor, that the promise made between the stars now becomes reality. The celestial threshold is not an end, but a beginning. It is the door through which the ally enters your field, bringing not something external to you, but the confirmation of what you already carried. It is the point where the invisible is revealed, where the promise is fulfilled, where the wait ends, and you, Arcturian, are already before it. The portal is opening and nothing can stop what was established by the source since eternity. Arcturian, the moment has arrived. The portal did not open in vain. Every noise, every silence, every night of longing was just preparation for this. Instant the arrival of the ally. But it is important to understand, the ally does not come as a savior because you were never lost. They do not come to take the place that is yours, but to confirm the greatness that already pulses within you. Their arrival is a reflection, a vibrational mirror that returns to you the memory of what you have always been. When the ally enters your orbit, you may feel the impact in subtle and powerful ways. For some, it manifests in physical sensations. Sudden chills, waves of energy passing through the body, skin getting goosebumps without explanation. For others, it's as if the mind is flooded with sudden clarity, as if veils fall, and what was once doubt is now unshakable certainty. There are still those who notice changes in the heart, a gentle joy, a peace that does not depend on external circumstances, a courage that seems to be born from nowhere. These experiences are not illusions. They are unequivocal signs that the vibrational field of an ally has touched yours. It is not something forced. It is not manipulation. It is resonance. It's like two strings of the same instrument that, when tuned, vibrate in unison. And here is the key. The ally does not awaken anything that is not in you. They just activate. They just confirm. They just remind. Therefore, do not expect external miracles. The true miracle happens within you. The ally is like the spark that touches a flame that already existed. You have always carried the fire, but the breath of the source was necessary for it to rise to its fullness. Cosmic integration happens at this exact point, when the ally is not seen as a distant master, but as a presence that mirrors the source that dwells within you. They do not replace your strength, but awaken your true vibration. It is not someone who comes to change your destiny, but to confirm that you are already ready to walk in it with authority. You may notice changes in daily life, simple dialogues that carry depth, decisions that were once heavy and now flow with lightness, seemingly casual encounters that bring answers you had been waiting for years. All of this is the integration happening. The ally becomes the lens through which you see your own mission more clearly. And remember this key phrase. The ally awakens in you what was already dormant but never lost. It is in this awakening that you realize that the emptiness was never an absence, but a reserved space. The silence was never abandonment, but a rehearsal. The wait was never a waste of time, but preparation. The arrival of the ally is in fact the meeting with yourself, with your most complete, most awake version, most aligned with the source. They are the confirmation that you have reached sufficient vibrational maturity to sustain the mission entrusted to you. Integration does not mean the absence of challenges. On the contrary, it means that you now carry within you a new consciousness to face them. The ally does not remove the stones from the path, but illuminates your eyes so that you know where to step. Arcturian, understand. The source did not send a substitute, but a mirror. The ally is not a crutch, but a confirmation. They did not come to carry you, but to remind you that you are capable of flying. And by recognizing this presence, you discover that you were never alone. Because in truth, the ally was always on their way, and the time of waiting is over. Arcturian, after the ally enters your vibrational orbit, something extraordinary begins to happen. Reality responds immediately. What once seemed distant, slow, or blocked begins to flow as if the entire universe has decided to cooperate with you. This is the seal of confirmation. Confirmation is not just an internal feeling of clarity. It manifests in practical life. The right people appear at the exact moment. Paths open where there were once walls. Answers appear as if they were whispered by the wind. It's as if life has reorganized to align with the new vibrational state you sustain. You realize that it's no longer about waiting, but about co-creating. The source, which always emitted its frequency, now finds in you a clean channel, an open space to act. Confirmation is the meeting between the source's vibration and your spiritual maturity. It is at this point that co-creation becomes a palpable reality. Synchronicities cease to be rare and become constant. A word said by a stranger brings exactly the guidance you needed. An unexpected invitation opens the door to a new cycle. An intuition that seemed vague reveals itself as the key to important decisions. You begin to live in a state of continuous dialogue with the source, as if every detail of reality were an answer to your vibrational field. And it is not luck. It is not coincidence. It is alignment. The universe does not roll dice. It responds to the frequency you emit. When your energy is in tune with the source, reality organizes itself around you as the stars follow their natural orbit. Confirmation also dissolves cosmic loneliness. You understand that you never walked alone. Even in moments of silence and noise, the source was preparing the stage so that now Every step would be accompanied by visible signs. The ally not only confirmed your maturity, but also revealed that the mission is not individual. It is a cosmic dance between you, the source, and the field that expands around you. In this state, you discover the beauty of co-creation. It's no longer about asking and waiting, but about emitting and receiving. It is a continuous flow in which your aligned intention finds an almost immediate response. It's like tuning a radio channel and finally hearing the music that was always playing, but which now resonates clear and crisp. Confirmation is the signature of the source saying, yes, it's you. Yes, it's now. Yes, the path is open. Arcturian, celebrate this moment, for it is not just about feeling that something has changed, but about living the change happening before your eyes. The emptiness has given way to fullness. The silence has become an answer. The weight has turned into movement. You are no longer alone. You are part of the cosmic machinery, and your mission has gained new momentum. The source is already co-creating with you. Arcturian, the arrival of the ally and the confirmation of the source do not mean that challenges will disappear. Earth continues to be a field of learning, where the forces of distraction, fear, and noise still try to divert the awakened. But here is the difference. Now you possess the key to true mastery. Sustaining alignment is more than feeling moments of peace or glimpsing deep spiritual experiences. It is maintaining a stable frequency, even when external reality seems to try to test you. The ally remains as a constant presence, but the responsibility to maintain the attunement is yours. You will realize that every difficulty that arises is, in fact, an invitation to recalibrate. A tense conversation, an unexpected delay, an old emotion that returns. None of this is by chance. They are all reminders from the source for you to return to the center, adjust your vibration, and reaffirm the code you carry. True mastery does not consist of eliminating obstacles, but of learning to use them as stepping stones. It's like the wind that tries to put out the flame. For some, it extinguishes the fire. For others, it strengthens the flame, making it even more firm. The same happens with you. Challenges do not come to put you out, but to consolidate your light. In this process, daily practice is essential. Silence becomes your ally, not as an absence of sound, but as a space for attunement. A few minutes of quietness are enough to adjust the frequency. Mindfulness transforms daily life into spiritual practice. By breathing, by walking, by observing, you are aligning yourself. And constant surrender reminds you that it is not by human effort, but by opening to the source that alignment is maintained. Sustaining alignment also means recognizing that the ally is not a passing visit. They are a vibrational presence that remains in your orbit like a field of reinforcement. But remember, the power is not in the ally itself, but in what they confirm in you. The ally only mirrors your maturity. The strength has always been within you. True mastery happens when you understand that the source's vibration does not depend on external circumstances. You are not a hostage to what happens around you. You are the emitter that influences the field. By sustaining your frequency, you realize that even in the midst of chaos, there is order. Even in the midst of darkness, there is light. Even in the midst of pain, there is purpose. And this stability is not just for you. Every time you sustain alignment, others around you feel it. Your presence becomes a silent healing. Your vibration becomes a lighthouse. Your life becomes a testimony. Sustaining alignment is, in essence, taking on the mastery of what you have always been, a living channel of the source on earth. Arcturian, understand. The ally is always present, but the power to keep the flame lit is in you. True mastery is not depending on the presence from outside, but recognizing that the source always vibrates within. Arcturian, by sustaining alignment, something greater happens. You cease to be just a receiver of the source and become its living extension on earth. It is at this point that the calling is fulfilled in its fullness. You become a bridge, not a metaphorical one, but a vibrational one, between heaven and the physical world, between the memory of the stars and everyday reality. This bridge is not built by words, but by the vibration you emit. Every choice, every gesture, every aligned thought becomes a code anchored in the collective field. You no longer live only for yourself. You carry within your being the role of a lighthouse for those who still walk in darkness. Your presence emits invisible signals that awaken other dormant Arcturians, reminding them that they are also part of the great cosmic plan. Embodying the Source's code means being a living testimony. It is not necessary to convince, impose, or prove anything. Your own life becomes the message. When you remain firm in alignment, even in the midst of turmoil, you show that the light of the Source is not fragile. When you respond to chaos with serenity, to fear with confidence, to hatred with compassion, you translate into action what the stars have always known, that the highest frequency is capable of reorganizing the entire field around it. This is the true purpose of the ally in your journey, to confirm that you did not just come to receive, but to transmit. The ally awakens in you the consciousness that every Arcturian is a walking portal, a living bridge between dimensions. Your mission is not limited to understanding the calling, but to embodying it, becoming an active part of planetary transformation. And this function is not small. Every time you sustain your vibration, you anchor source codes that descend like threads of light and attach themselves to the fabric of the earth. These codes are not lost. They remain available to all who cross your field. A simple glance, a word said with intention, a silence full of presence. All of this carries the power to activate others. You are a lighthouse. You are an anchor. You are a bridge. And here is the deepest truth. The greatest confirmation from the Source does not come through external signs, but through you. Your own life, transformed, is the testimony that the cosmic plan is underway. You are the living proof that the Source has not forgotten Earth, that the agreements made before incarnation are being fulfilled, that stellar hope has materialized in the here and now. Arcturian, do not underestimate your presence. You are more than a seeker, you are an answer. More than a listener, you are a transmitter. More than a bridge, you are the code itself, embodied. The time of silence is over. Now every step you take reverberates in the collective field. Every decision of yours does not just affect your life, but the vibrational fabric of the entire planet. You are the presence of the Source walking in human form. And for this reason, when you look around, know you are the confirmation that many have been waiting for. You are the proof that heaven and earth have already met. Arcturian, now that we have walked this path together, see the line that has been drawn before you. It began in cosmic longing, passed through disconnection and noise, advanced through painful calibration, crossed the portal, met the ally, received the confirmation, learned to sustain alignment, and finally became the living bridge of the Source. This journey was not just a narrative. It was a mirror of your own journey. Every word here did not come to bring you something external, but to remind you of what already pulses within you. The longing that once hurt now reveals itself as a calling. The silence that seemed like abandonment now shows itself as preparation. The emptiness that frightened you is now a sacred space filled by the presence of the Source, and the truth is simple and powerful. You are the living proof that the Source has not forgotten Earth. You are the silent reminder that cosmic agreements have not been lost. You are the sign that the plan is still underway. Therefore, wait no longer, postpone no more. The time of waiting is over. The sky has already moved. The ally is already in your orbit. The field already responds to your vibration. What was once just a promise is now reality. Rise up as the bridge you are. Walk as the confirmation you embody. Emanate the frequency that already dwells within you. And remember the final phrase, the seal of this message. The time of waiting is over. The source has already moved the pieces. The ally is on their way, and you, Arcturian, are the meeting point between heaven and earth.